Hey everybody, Chris here again. Just doing a follow-up video, and I apologize I'm late getting this done. Things have been good on the up and up. It will be 2 weeks on this Friday that I completed the Lemtrada infusions, the first 5 days. Today is March 25th, just to give people some idea where I am. So not quite 2 weeks post-infusion. Things are good. Still fighting the fatigue, but not to the point where I can't get a shower and stay up for the day and get dressed and, you know, function as a member of the household. That's good, but some things do get me tired out, like been venturing outside to try to get the dogs walked, and today just was one of those off days. I woke up, the head was a little spacey, and that was a little weird, and my balance was a little off, and tried to get them out this evening, but instead I took care of the daughter, bath time, and I did that and then put her down, and the wife got the dogs out instead of myself. So it's just management and trade-off, but just a quick rundown. So going from the top down, the head knot has been awesome. Cognitive and cog fog, or cotton brain as I've heard it termed, relatively since day 2 has been non-existent, but I still get the odd time that I wake up or I'm going about my day and all of a sudden, things get a little spacey, or I get a little, not really vertigo-y, but just a little dazed and confused almost. It sounds weird, but it's almost like the speed at which I'm processing stuff has been slowed down a little bit, and it just, where I really notice it is traveling in a vehicle. That whole car motion thing and car sickness kind of feeling I've never experienced, but the last week or so, that's been good. I've had one more episode of hearing like a ringing, or tinnitus I believe it's called, in the ears, and minor. It lasted for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and then gone again, and I experienced that once this week, and that was outside of the actual infusion days, and have not experienced it again, so that's good. Right hand, more tingly, more numb, same with my right forearm, and left hand is quite numb and tingly, but it's a different, it's more like a pins and needles sensation than just a total loss of feeling. So that's promising. Definitely the left hand gets worse during certain periods of the day, like when I get tired, or there's just days like this morning I wake up and it feels like I got a piece of lead for a hand, right? So that comes and goes. So, but I guess one thing I need to stress is Lemtrada is not a quick fix solution. It is, I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding out there, I kind of sense. It's not a quick fix. This is something that you need to go through the first 5 days of treatment, the first year. Then you should see some improvement over the, they kind of told me up to 6 months and afterwards, but really would be after the second 3 days, a year later. And then sort of 6 months after that, I should really start to notice and see things kind of stopped and halted, and the body sort of coming back on board once again and being up and running, sort of not knowing MS. But that remains yet to be seen. The MRIs will confirm that, but I'm definitely excited. Going down to the lower body, I mean, one thing I can say right away that I noticed, just the gut feeling. I mean, I used to, experience not stomach aches and that, but just never really had a cast iron gut to begin with, and definitely with the MS did not. And then looking back on things, I've lost close to probably 100 pounds now since being diagnosed back in sort of that April of 2013. So it started very quick to begin with, was almost losing close to 10 pounds a week when I was first diagnosed, but of course that's the stress and the amount of information you're processing and the stress related to that. And that's something I don't think people talk about, and I think is a bigger issue than a lot of people let on. And I know there's been some initiative in Canada, but I'd like to see even more. And that stems with the MS world, but also stems out further than I really see. Victoria, I kind of hate to say it, but we have such a large poverty and below poverty, and also a large homeless community, and the mental health issues surrounding that. And I myself, I experience, okay, fine, I may need some help, and I talk to somebody at the MS clinic, and I see a psychiatrist or a certain doctor, and okay, great, maybe we should see you monthly for the next couple of months. Okay, great, but that waiting list to get in for that, the poor gentleman's so busy, or the doctor's so busy, I'm waiting 3 or 4 months. So what am I supposed to do to maintain or get myself some help, or somebody else out there? Are they having to wait 3 or 4 months? Because that, I hate to say it, that's ridiculous though. And I have a tough time with that one. And there's a couple other things that it's kind of opened my eyes up to, and a couple of topics, and I'm gonna stay tight-lipped about those right now, but I'm definitely exploring them as photography project options. All being well, once the body recovers, especially after year 2 in those 3 future days of Mann-Lemtrada treatment. And there are probably 3 or 4 projects that I now have kind of penciled down in my brain box, and haven't really shared them with anybody except maybe one with my wife, and we'll see where they go. But one that I can talk about is I decided early on, and have still constantly, it gets put on the back burner during times like these, but it's still something that I want to dive back into now that the weather's getting nicer. But I am working on a black and white, what I hope will be a coffee table style book of black and white photography, and it is all portraits of people that are currently living with MS, be it what form of. Covers all varieties, all genders, all races, all ages. So I'm trying to get that wide aspect, and it's people living with MS that still enjoy doing certain things outside of their normal routine. And it's awesome. I've got a couple ladies in the art therapy group here in Victoria that have signed up and sort of let me start with them, and shot a couple of pictures with them, and had a couple more individuals that approached me and want to do the photography project. So I'm going to throw it out there. If there's anybody out there, especially Victoria, Vancouver, Calgary, get a hold of me. Chris, CHRIS, at chrismannphotography.com is my email address. And if it's something you're interested in, whether you're newly diagnosed, whether you've been living with the disease for 20, 30, 40 years, I would like people, if you're willing and open enough to, give me a bit of a bio about yourself and what you're able to still enjoy doing. And if it's something we can capture a unique image about, I'm all for it. So please, if it's something you're interested in, hit me up, as they say. And that, once again, is Chris at chrismannphotography.com. And I also have a page of photography related stuff on Facebook. So if you do a search for Chris, CHRIS, Mann, MANN, photography on Facebook, and request to be added, it is a closed group, but I will, and if you just tell me it's MS related in your notes, I will add you into the group as quickly as I can. So in closing, that's about it. As I say, the first, I should hit on a note, Saturday, Sunday after infusions weren't bad, but mostly spent in bed. But Monday to Wednesday, holy smokes, I thought I had been run over by a freight train and then backed up and run over repeatedly 2 or 3 times. I think I made the comment on Facebook that I felt like a sack of smashed assholes, which is a comment I get from a friend of mine in Calgary, and that person will know who she is, but that's a comment that's stuck with me for years now, and I still use it as a descriptor, and it seemed to go over pretty well with the MSers out there on an online community that is a Lemtrada forum sort of on Facebook as well. It's a Lemtrada's user groups on Facebook. And I tell you, that has been a wide, vast area of knowledge for me, as well as myself being able to throw knowledge out there to other people. And yeah, that's about it that I can think to touch on right now. One last thing, I think I mentioned it before, but to combat that horrible metallic taste in your mouth, sour candies. The sourer they are, the better off they work. And I just don't recommend tear jerkers while you're driving. So On that note, thanks for watching, and I definitely will post another video in a couple of weeks and update you once again on how things are going. But until then, take care, and I wish you all luck if you're actually scheduled to start Lemtrada, and if you're thinking about it, I hope this is shed some light on the whole topic. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you again in a couple of weeks.